Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous 5-time champs and feel the power. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Everything's wrong and the pressure is on. That's when it's time to be strong. Just look in the mirror and wipe your face. Step up to the plate, cause it's time to be great. So come on and embrace the new day. Come on and live life a new way. Don't stop till you reach the top. And while them haters keep hating, you'll be winning a race. You gotta believe you can get it. Open your eyes and see your dreams and the dreams from all hoping and wishing. We are the privileged. Through faith, all things are possible. And with the power inside, ain't no stopping you. We won't hesitate to fight for a better day until we inevitably claim our victory. No more time for depression and stressing. Prepare despair with the power of blessing. No fear in here. We use faith as our weapon for the new day, new way with no half. Stop looking for who you gotta be. Let it go. It's got one. The world of fresh cold again. Looking in the mirror is who you gotta be. Get us back on the right road, on the right track, on the right road. With the future that we all know. Time to the past, gotta let it all go.
is time to get a new season of the NBL underway. It is week 1. It is kickoff week. Here in the Madden Bomber League, we've got a phenomenal NBL Live Super Show coming up. Before we get there, though, we have our NBL Live pregame show brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsors. Came From Nothing Clothing graphic sponsor. That's what I'm so used to saying. It's our clothing sponsor, Came From Nothing Clothing. Look at that phenomenal streetwear you can get. Track jackets, sweatshirts, hats, all sorts of great stuff. New stuff coming out by the day, including our brand new Virginia Beach collection. NBL's taking over Virginia Beach in July, and you too can get some clothing that makes you feel like you're there with us. With some, we got some tanks, some board shorts, some t-shirts, all sorts of fun stuff at the Came From Nothing clothing page. You can find it at 365.maddenbomberleague.com/merchandise. You can also find it at cfnclothing.com. Click on the NBL tab. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. I am OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the Commissioner Bomber. We got week 1 action, NBL Live broadcast 285 coming up. On one side, an AFC North early matchup between the Bengals and the Steelers. On the other side, boy, Bomber, how nice is it to go week 1? How about a Super Bowl rematch? Dolphins and Cowboys. Cowboys looking for retribution. Dolphins on the path to repeat as NBL Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, we get a little rematch from NBL Season 37 Super Bowl. If you missed it, it's on the archives, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. I'm excited to see these two guys match up again. I think it's a must-win for the Dallas Cowboys tonight. You come away with a really disappointing loss. Everybody's calling you the bridesmaid. You're 0-3 in the Super Bowl. Let's see if they can kind of figure it out. Mostly OSU and everybody else kind of following along. 0-3 in Super Bowls. You kind of want to see them just come away with a moral victory tonight and kind of spoil ring ceremony in Miami.
Before we get there, a little piece of business. Bomber, you know a little bit about this one. We got Building the Franchise. Dallas Cowboys coming up Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Let the people know what they can expect over on YouTube.
First of all, big shout out to Porter. He's in the chat. He says he needs a Virginia Beach tank top.
Can't get more free stuff, Porter.
Yeah, go to CFN Clothing. Actually buy it once. Actually buy me one as well. So we got Building the Franchise, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Sunday night, you see it on the screen right there. It's going to be the Washington Redskins, Dallas Cowboys. What a great way to kick off episode number 1, Building the Franchise. This is our, let me see, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 16 that we're covering here. And it's the 15 we're actually covering. We're covering the Cowboys twice this season, so it's exciting time. It's Super Bowl or bust for these Dallas Cowboys, and we get a little glimpse into what they're going to be bringing to the table tonight as they take on the Miami Dolphins.
And that's Building the Franchise coming up Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. That's over on YouTube, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. Let's get right to it. Let's take a look at our players to watch here for broadcast 285 here on the NBL Network. Starting off with that AFC North matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, last season, they took Thomas Cook in the NBL rookie draft. Arguably the most talented quarterback to come out of a top-heavy quarterback draft. I think there were 7 first-round quarterbacks. Thomas Cook, I think most people agreed, was the best talent-wise. But he had a rough season. 47.7 passer rating, 8 touchdowns, 35 interceptions, and the Steelers went 0-16. If there's a positive, Bomber, it's that it can't get much worse for the Steelers, but Thomas Cook's going to have to pick up his game as he's going to get the Steelers any sort of wins this year.
Yeah, the 4th overall pick in the NBL Season 36 rookie draft out of Auburn University. Thomas Cook got to get it rocking and rolling tonight early in this game. I like to see him just kind of figure it out offensively a little bit. I'm pretty sure he was hoping with the 1st overall pick, maybe they were going to go wide receiver. There's a couple stud wide receivers in the draft, maybe give him another weapon. It didn't happen, and they ended up trading away their tight end as well. You look at this team right now, how it's just kind of constructed. It's very more defensive oriented. Thomas Cook's going to have to carry the load here, and hopefully he doesn't have that even sophomore slump that would be a little bit more disappointing than what he has as a freshman or rookie here in the NBL. So hopefully we see some positive signs for him. I still want to give up on him just yet. He just might be one of those quarterbacks that takes 2 to 3 seasons to kind of figure it out here in Pittsburgh.
On the flip side, the Cincinnati Bengals looking to defend their back-to-back AFC North titles. Going to be a little tougher this year with the rise of the Cleveland Browns coming back to prominence. But for the Cincinnati Bengals, how about John Ross, a guy who he was basically the man in Cincinnati last year. A.J. Green relegated to more of a secondary role, but now no more A.J. Green. He's retired, so John Ross, 100% no safety net, 51 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 6 touchdowns last year. And Bomber, this is going to be the toughest year for the Bengals. They don't have that weapon in A.J. Green like they had early in the cycle. And now they've got a revamped Cleveland Browns team to go up against. And for the Bengals, it's going to be up to Luke Poe and John Ross to lead this offense to another AFC North title.
Yeah, this was a division dominated by the Cleveland Browns throughout the majority of the first 3 seasons. They went to back-to-back-to-back Super Bowls. They won their first 2. And now it's kind of been just transitioning into the Cincinnati Bengals, but they're vulnerable this year. They do have John Ross. Obviously, he is a big-time playmaker down the field. He's going to be matched up tonight, I believe, against the rookie, the first overall pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Devontae Hardy, 93 speed going against the speedster John Ross. We're going to see that those two kind of match it out. We're going to see exactly where Devontae Hardy is at. But I like Cincinnati this season. Do I have them winning the division? Eric's not going to like this. No, it might be Rusev Day in his mind. But and it might happen today, but I don't think it's going to be Rusev's season, if you know what I mean. I feel like it's going to go back to the Cleveland Browns this year. I do think they'll be in the contention for a wild card, but this team has, it's going to be John Ross dependent, so we're going to see how that works out.
Big shout out to Full STL90 in the chat saying, man, y'all kill it with the content. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the love, my friend. Let's take a look at what is the marquee matchup, though. It's a rematch of the Season 37 Super Bowl between the Dolphins and the Cowboys. Starting off with the Dallas Cowboys, Zeke Elliott had another phenomenal season. 1,200 yards, 6.0 per carry. Absolutely phenomenal. 17 touchdowns. And that 0 in the fumble column, Bomber, is so important. He does not put the pigskin on the ground. But for the Dallas Cowboys, I think Z-Star is sitting there going, I don't know what more we have to do to get ourselves over the hump and get ourselves that Super Bowl title. He loves to talk about what he won in Madden 18, but Madden 19 has not been Z-Star's time. And even though Zeke Elliott is a talented player and is our player to watch, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the play of Parker Sheffield.
You know, we talked about wrestling and which owners are like WWE superstars in a blog that you did. If you haven't checked it out, it's on daddyleagues.com/MBO. Go ahead and give that a quick read. Very funny stuff. Z-Star kind of reminds me of that WWE competitor that wins the Intercontinental Championship, but every time he's in for the heavyweight championship run as of late, he just kind of falls short. No pun intended there, but 3 times to the Super Bowl, 0 wins. He's the most successful non-Super Bowl winner this cycle. Got to get over the hump. It's got to start tonight, week 1 against the Miami Dolphins, on the road. Spoil that ring ceremony, get some momentum going, but I think important down the stretch for Zeke Elliott to stay healthy. Reggie Billups has shown, even though he was a first-round pick, he's not really that dependable in the backfield. We saw at OSU. It was just kind of a struggle getting him going in the run game. It's just not the same type of runner as Zeke the Freak. So Zeke Elliott's health, if he can stay healthy this season, I think they got a good chance. Plus, they're on BTF, man, so they're going to get that added boost as well.
Last but certainly not least is our Season 37 defending Super Bowl champions. After a 15-1 regular season, the Miami Dolphins ran through the playoffs, got themselves a title over these Dallas Cowboys. Nyheim Hines, a huge signing for them in Season 37's offseason, and he was absolutely phenomenal. 1,000-yard rusher, 6.4 per carry, 16 touchdowns on the year. And he's going to be relied on a lot, Bomber, because what has become somehow, as a big shout out to Gov with 12 months subscribing, what has become somehow a tradition here in the NBL, quarterbacks winning the Super Bowl and then getting kicked out after they win that Super Bowl. No more Allen Rose. It's going to be up to Marcus Mariota to lead the Miami Dolphins to another Super Bowl title.
Yeah, just a little context to that. That's happened 3 times in a row now. You look at Allen Rose. You've seen it happen with Josh Allen for the New York Giants. Phillip Rivers obviously retired for the Detroit Lions. Even Baker Mayfield's not even on the team that he won the championship with the Browns. So there's no quarterbacks that have won championships this season that are still on the team that they won championships with. So that is a very crazy feat right now. And now that I've gone off to that tangent, I forgot the original question.
They're going to have to rely on Nyheim Hines.
No, it's all Nyheim Hines.
There's a lot of questions. Everybody in the chat questioning whether Mariota is the right guy to lead this team.
Yeah, well, Marcus Mariota, obviously some struggles. You've seen him in Tennessee. You've seen him in Seattle. He hasn't looked good this cycle, but if anybody can get him right, it's going to be the Miami Dolphins. They're going to simplify the offense. They're going to give him some big targets in Mike Evans, Austin Hooper at tight end. These are players that can make plays in traffic. That might help Mariota a little bit, and expect him to scramble. He's going to be a little bit more athletic than Allen Rose was, and even though Allen Rose might like his new scenery in New England, I tell you what, he's going to be missing this Miami Dolphins defense because they truly are phenomenal, and I think that defense is going to give Mariota some confidence. He might make a bad play, OSU, come back, and the defense kind of holds the team to 3, or they get them off the field with a punt. Now you're right back in it, and you can just turn those negatives into positives fairly quickly.
All right, time to get the predictions for this NBL Live Super Show broadcast 285 here on the NBL Network. Let's start off with the what is the secondary game, but a very important AFC North matchup, Bengals and Steelers. Steelers, a gopher in the win column. Do they get one today and already get the season off to a right start?
Oh man, I don't like the pick against Eric G. Even though I'm not part of the Eric G fan club like yourself, OSU,
Fact.
I
We
do
will have
have.
shirts in Virginia Beach. It will
And
be
you
there.
know, he told me the code word for Greco is actually greatness. That's what it translates into you. So you're
Yeah,
wearing
absolutely.
basically a Witness Greco hat right now. So there's that. But I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals tonight. I like Pittsburgh. I hope they show us some signs and show us a little bit of fight. But on the road to start off season 38 against the NFC North Division champion, I don't think they get it done tonight. Hopefully they keep it close for a little bit for us. And hopefully we get to see Cook kind of ball out a little bit, see a little Devontae Hardy maybe on John Ross and see what he can do defensively. The first overall pick in our rookie draft. But I'm going to go Cincinnati over Pittsburgh 28-13. Then on the flip side, you got the Dallas Cowboys.
Before we get there,
okay,
we've got some great nicknames for Marcus Mariota. Z-Star pulling out the Marigoda, whereas Dubers responds with Margariota, and then Brad responds with Mary Grossa. So which Mariota are we getting today with the Miami Dolphins?
Oh, Brad, that was a terrible. I think he just kind of killed it. That was pretty. Mary Grossa. I didn't like that one as much as the other ones, but I don't know who we get as far as Marcus Mariota. He has many faces. It's not just the bad and the good. There's a lot more different faces of bad for Marcus Mariota that we've seen so far this cycle. Hopefully, we get to see who he truly is in a good system. Maybe he's not going to be the expectation that they originally had on him as a quarterback, drafted him really early. Maybe he won't be that type of quarterback, but maybe he can be something special inside this Miami Dolphins system, along with that great defense. I mean, how much was their defense giving up last season? Like 10 points per game, if you're lucky. So it's a good defense over there, a great defense, arguably probably overshadowing the Draco defense. We always talked about a Draco defense. This motor defense, man, they just got the engine over there, and they know how to just keep it full throttle throughout the game. They're tough, and that's going to give a lot of confidence to your quarterback, especially if it's one prone to making mistakes.
Who's coming out on top tonight?
It's got to be... Oh, man, I'm doing BTF Cowboys. You're kind of boxing me in here. I can't go with the tie. I mean, that would just be that'd be a horrible decision. I'd get shamed for that. Dolphins at home, ring ceremony. Gotta go with the Miami Cowboys. No, we're going Dallas Cowboys. Well, we got to go BTF Cowboys. We're going Cowboys over the Dolphins, 24-21. Last second field goal for Z-Star. Book it. Putting up 24 points on this team is going to be difficult. But I remember how they started last the Super Bowl. They got a touchdown on the first drive. I want to see them start off aggressive and keep the foot on the throttle just a little bit longer. I think they took it off last time, and it just kind of hurt them towards the end of the game, middle of the game. They just kind of sputtered out.
Oh, Lord. GroupMe just hosed me. There we go. I fixed it. GroupMe's great. Love it. There's a reason why they're not a sponsor. Let's get right to it. Let's get to week 1. Let's get season 38 coming up next. We have a rematch of the NBL season 37 Super Bowl. Can the Dallas Cowboys get revenge? A key matchup over in the AFC North. It's a ton of action, and it's all coming up right now here on NBL Live.
I just want to say, hey, man, this is T.O., the cover athlete of the Madden 19 Hall of Fame edition, and you're watching the gold standard of the franchise mode, the MBL Network. Holla.
And we are live. It's an NBL Live Super Show to kick off season 38. And do we have two phenomenal matchups here on broadcast 285? On the left side of your screen, it's an early AFC North battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. On the right side of your screen, it's the matchup that's been circled on everyone's calendars since the schedules came out. It's a rematch of the season 37 Super Bowl, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Miami Dolphins. I am OSU hanging out with the commissioner of the NBL. It is Bomber. Bomber, what a way to kick off season 38 with a little replay, a little redux of the season 37 Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got the Cowboys on the road right now taking on the Miami Dolphins. This is a replay NBL season 37 Super Bowl. Key re-signings for season 38 for the Dallas Cowboys coming up: Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Byron Jones, and those are three superstar dev linemen that have been with them out of box. And the plan moving forward, believe it or not, Tyron Smith is probably playing his last season with the Dallas Cowboys, so that offensive line is going to take another big hit at the end of this season.
Can we talk about how one of the key additions is, shout out to DJ the GOAT 9923, now following here on Twitch, One of the key additions for the Cincinnati Bengals, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Eric G incredibly pumped about that signing, a new element to the offense. Yeah, he went down first play of the game.
Yeah, he's injury-prone tight end, receiving tight end. He's got, a big target, a big-time player in the middle of the field, but has an issue staying healthy. You see it happen when he was with Tampa. Now you're seeing it for the Cincinnati Bengals later in his career.
Big 3rd and 15 for the Bengals coming up. Pittsburgh's defense going to have to lead the way for an offense that struggles a lot. 2nd and 2 on the right side of your screen for the defending champs, the Miami Dolphins. With new quarterback Marcus Mariota under the helm on 2nd and 2. It's a play-action pass rolling out. Defense is there. Big hit as he throws, and luckily there was nobody in the area to pick that one off. Nice aggressive call from the Dallas Cowboys, trying to get after Marcus Mariota, make him uncomfortable early.
Couple people in the chat saying my mic's a little bit loud. If you want to turn me down a little bit, I'm on.
I see it all. I've been turning you down for like 5 minutes.
All right.
I've also been trying to turn me. It's not as easy as it looks. Because let's be clear, the minute I turn you down and I turn me up and I yell, people go, "Wow, OSU, you're so loud. Why are you yelling?" It's a little harder than it looks to balance the sound. 3rd and 2, right side of your screen. Deep pass down the middle. There's nobody there. It's caught down inside the 33-yard line. That's Mike Gesicki, the big tight end out of Penn State University.
Yeah, right down the middle of the field, running that Tampa 2, but you just don't see Vander Esch kind of get deep enough on the Tampa 2, and he just splits it. Nice play call, nice pass by Marcus Mariota. We talked about him coming into this game, how he was going to fit on the new team, a team that just won a Super Bowl. Well, one thing is positive with the Miami Dolphins. They are run-dependent and defensive-dependent. So any plus you get from Marcus Mariota is just that. It's a plus, and right there he throws a nice Dotsky, gets him down to the 33.
I formation, Naheem Hines at the top of the I-2 wide receiver, split to the left side. As on 1st down, that's going to be Naheem Hines taking the carry, a little stretch around the left side. Nice tackle by Vander Esch, but still going to pick up 4. Vander Esch hurt on the play, pops up, but hopefully that's nothing serious.
Yeah, Vander Esch is a key linebacker for this Dallas Cowboys. We talked about who they're most likely going to lose, who they have to resign. It's all offensive linemen, but the health of their defense has always been kind of what makes this team go. If they can stay healthy with Vander Esch and Jalen Smith, they're usually all right. But losing them, it really could hurt.
Thomas Cook getting off to the start that everybody expected. He throws a pick to Jackson on a really, really bad read. And after the Steelers defense gets a nice stop on their first drive on the Cincinnati Bengals, Thomas Cook gives it right back. Something he's no stranger to. 2nd and 6 for Mariota, and he misses a wide-open Gesicki underneath, going to set up a 3rd down.
Oh, shoulder tear for Vander Esch. That's going to be, 4 to 8 weeks maybe, something like that.
Big loss for the backside of the defense. He's a big playmaker, Bomber. I don't know what his ratings are, but he seems to always be in the middle of things making huge plays for that Dallas defense.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's the reason why they let Sean Lee go about a season earlier, because of everything he does in the middle of the field. He took that mentorship and took it to a completely different level. He's been the El Capitan of the middle of the field for that defensive side of the ball.
3rd and 6. That's picked off. It's Smith with the pick. Oh, I couldn't hear you over the sound of the Dallas defense going, "Who's Vander Esch?" Smith goes, "I can make some big plays myself," stopping Miami inside the red zone.
That's a nice jump pick right there. I thought he had enough space. We saw Z-Star do this a couple times, even against the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game. Just a great job getting depth as you're dropping back, and it almost makes you believe you have enough space, but right there you just didn't. Jalen Smith just so athletic, making a big play.
Big shout out to our newest NBL Hall of Famer, Porter, in the chat, our participation guru. Boy, that's a job I don't think anybody's envious of having.
That's like cutting the grass around the house. I always say the NBL is a big-time house. We got an NBL family here, but someone's got to cut the yard, and nobody wants to do it. But Porter, he gets his stuff going, and he goes out on the lawn, and he takes care of business for us. So appreciate him, newest member to the NBL Owners Hall of Fame.
3rd down and 1 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Penny at the top of the eye. It is Rashad Penny with the carry.
Welcome to the network, baby.
Big shout out to Agent Rico gifting a Tier 1 sub to Bentabis. His first gift sub given. And that's the best part about the NBL Network, Bomber. The community always giving out subs, always getting new people into the fold.
Yeah, absolutely. You see a lot of gift subs. I think Sclamber's given up over 50. We've seen Gub and Gov give a ton away. Even the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They've got to change
it's why don't we just call him Governor? We'll just go with that, even though that's misspelled. But we'll go ahead and assume that's what he's trying to say.
Call him Gub and Governor. 3rd and 12. Throw over the middle of the field. How about Pettis with the catch? But a big hit by the backside of that defense. It falls incomplete, and Dallas can be forced to punt it away. They force a huge turnover early, but can't capitalize on the flip side. The Cincinnati Bengals 12 yards away from going up by a score.
Yeah, back to the Dallas Cowboys, what they saw on that first drive. Obviously, you got Parker Sheffield under center. That's the rookie from last season in the sophomore season. He literally, 2 of those 3 plays, just nobody's open. The Miami Dolphins defense is suffocating. They get to you fast. Pressure comes early and often. I know they haven't been particularly happy with the play of Vita Vea in the preseason or even last season as well. They brought him over from Tampa, the defensive tackle. But he does a great job against the run, and that really forces Dallas into a passing attack, and that plays right into the Miami Dolphins' hands.
It's a big face mask. Artie Burns committing the penalty. And now Cincinnati 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. For Cincinnati, they've got a lot of injuries at the quarterback position. Their starter, Luke Poe, is healthy for the moment, but he struggled last year with injuries, and now they're backups. They've got 2 quarterbacks down on injured reserve.
Yeah, Luke Poe has to be the guy this season. It was nice. It was nice. And that was the rookie from last year. We talked about him. Just changing directions, getting to the right side, being able to slow down, change directions, accelerate into the hole. Craig Overton, a phenomenal halfback for the Cincinnati Bengals, who a lot of people overlooked there on the offensive Rookie of the Year voting for the AFC. But he's proven to be some type of a stud here for the Cincinnati Bengals.
So a 7-0 lead early. Cincinnati capitalizes on the turnover from Cook, Thomas Cook, quarterback. 4th overall pick in the, not this past, but the prior NBL rookie draft, season 37's rookie draft. Starting off what he did so often last season, throwing picks, is Nyheim Hines. It was a nasty little spin move. Great job, just able to pick up 2 yards on that run.
And Nyheim Hines getting it done at the line of scrimmage when there's really nowhere to run. He just can fall forward and get you 2. But this is an electrifying halfback. We saw him in the Super Bowl, NBL season 37, catch out the backfield, make a man miss, go to the house. That was the first touchdown they had on the board for the Miami Dolphins, and found themselves down 7-0. So he plays an integral part, not just in the running attack, the passing attack, and his pass protection has stepped up a notch since he's came over from Cleveland as well.
Taking down an 8 for the Miami Dolphins. Shotgun formation for Marcus Mariota in that 2 tight end set. Looks over to the left side, nice throw. And you see what they're doing as the game plan for the Miami Dolphins. It's a lot of throws underneath, utilizing Mike Gesicki, utilizing Austin Hooper, and just trying to give him some easy reads to get into the swing of things in the Dolphins.
Yeah, in the chat right now, you got Little Fish saying, Nemo saying, so hard to make Hines take a loss. I think that's very true. When you look at the best halfbacks in the NBL, that's what separates them from the pack, is their ability to fall forward and not take loss of yards on basically any carry that they get.
Shout out to J Tips TV now following here on Twitch as Mariota. He'll take it himself to pick up the first down. That's what Marcus Mariota brings to these Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, right there, a little quarterback draw. We didn't see that much in Tennessee. In Seattle, we saw it even less, but now they're going to open the playbook up, and they're going to say, you know what, let's use his legs and utilize his athletic ability and add that as another dynamic ability that Marcus Mariota can bring to this team on the field, and he did it right there and moves the chains on 3rd down.
Gov saying fall forward, shaking my head. Hey, Gov, we're not on that patch. There are times that players will just fall forward because they're big, strong people. 1st down and 10 for the Miami Dolphins. Quick throw underneath. It's a first down. Nice run. Great angle as Taco Charlton goes down for the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, that could be 2 major defensive losses for the Cowboys.
Yeah, you're talking about the loss of their Sean Lee Vander Est, their leader on the defensive side of the ball. And now Taco Charlton in the front line. That is not those are 2 players you really can't afford to lose. If Byron Jones goes down, I'm going to say, man, this Cowboys team might be in big trouble.
1st down and 10, pistol formation for Marcus Mariota. Bunch 3 to the left side. Mike Gesicki, the lone tight end, on the right side of that formation. Mariota takes the snap on 1st and 10. Waiting. Looking. Quick throw underneath. That's Nyheim Hines with the catch, and he'll pick up a good chunk of yards. And so far, Dallas struggling to get any sort of pressure on Marcus Mariota, as it looks like Taco Charlton will be able to return.
That's big news for the Dallas Cowboys, especially as they get inside the red zone defensively here. Miami Dolphins last season, I don't know if you remember, but up till about week 9, they were 100% inside the red zone, and their touchdown to field goal ratio was through the roof. I believe it was like 38 attempts, and they had 29 touchdowns and 9 field goals. Something crazy like this. This team is super efficient inside the red zone. Let's see if they can start the season off right and end up with a touchdown here at the 13th.
Laying down at 3, Mariota, quick throw underneath. That's the tight end. He's going to be just shy of the line again. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. I don't know, was that that looked like Mike Gesicki once again. 3 catches, 44 yards. We sounding good now? Is everybody golden with the sound?
Let's get some feedback in the chat. Sounds great is what Brad's saying. I messed with my gain a little bit. That might have been the issue with that one, OSU, so apology for that.
I mean, we also had an XSplit update, which you know how XSplit updates go. Sometimes they just mess with things.
Well, yeah, mine just completely deleted it off.
It's great. It's the best. It's so fun. 3rd down and 1 for the Miami Dolphins, looking to get on the board first in the Super Bowl rematch. As it's a play-action pass from Mariota, rolls to the right side. He's got a big hole. He's got a 1st down. He'll slide at the 3-yard line. Another 1st down picked up by the quick-legged Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota, one of the big signings this offseason. Let's see what Motor said about this key addition of Marcus Mariota. I'm excited to see how Marcus Mariota performs. He adds a different element to our offense that opponents haven't had to prepare for, and I think they're right. We're seeing it right on cue right now on this drive, that 3rd and 2 where they did a quarterback draw right there using his legs.
Hand off to Nyheim Hines. He'll wind and weave his way into the end zone. The first score for the defending Super Bowl champions. It's on the ground with who else but Nyheim Hines. Ketchup. Love it on a hot dog. Love it even more in the end zone.
Right here, we saw Miami Dolphins just utilize a key word to their offense. It's always been patience. They just are very cool, calm, and collective on an entire drive. They get into the 3rd and 2. You do not see them panic. They'll run a quarterback draw. They're okay with the field goal. They're okay with the punt. They essentially just play a very reserved game and take what's given, and right there, they just pick and choose their way down the field, and they find themselves up 7-0 to end the first quarter.
And how about the Pittsburgh Steelers? With the benefit of a pass interference on a deep pass, they find the way into the end zone. Thomas Cook with a nice little drive for the Steelers. The kick is up. It is good. It's tied in the Queen City.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the pass interference, but it was into double coverage, and Jesse Bates just got a little antsy. He just decided, hey, I'm going to try to run through this offensive player and make a play. It was double covered. It wasn't the greatest throw there by Cooks. It ends up getting bailed out with the pass interference, and the Pittsburgh Steelers do their best to capitalize. Now it's 7-7. We got ourselves a ball game in both of these games headed into the second.
1st down and 10 on the right side of your screen. Parker Sheffield gets clobbered as he throws. It's almost picked off. He was trying to get it over to David Njoku, but the Miami Dolphins, they brought the heat. They got to Sheffield, and they almost got a huge turnover.
Yeah, right there to the outside on the right side, a little corner route. And getting hit as he's throwing the ball, hangs in the air just a little bit. That should have been picked off. And here goes a really aggressive Miami Dolphins set. Look at everybody in the box. That's 8 in the box.
Pump fake for Luke Poe on the left side of the screen. He looks over the middle field, completes it to Devontae Adams down to the 45-yard line. Zeke Elliott, he had nowhere to go on that play, and it's the 3rd and 17. The Miami defense, they're picking up where they left off after last season.
Yeah, Miami is just so aggressive. They get inside the box, and we've seen them bail out into coverage. We've seen them aggressively cover zero right there. They were actually in drop coverage, but they do a great job play recognizing it's a run, and everybody comes down, and now they're in that double A gap. Once again, another aggressive look for the Miami Dolphins, putting pressure on this Dallas Cowboys offensive line.
And moving Njoku from the right to the left side, shotgun formation for Parker Sheffield. And the Dallas Cowboys, and penalty on the play, and let's make it a little harder. How about a 3rd and 22?
Yeah, this is things we're not really used to with the Dallas Cowboys. The offensive line, I mean, albeit we are 6 seasons in now into Madden 19, and the line is starting to kind of show some signs of getting older and a little bit more regression playing into a factor here. NBL Live Broadcast 285.
You're down and 22 for the Dallas Cowboys as they're into the about 30 seconds in to the second quarter. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati just hit the second quarter, 7-7, and you can see that one on the left side of your screen. 3rd and 22. It's a play-action pass. Looks like they're trying to set up a screen to the right side for Antonio Callaway. He's got blockers. He's got a seam, but great collapse by the Miami Dolphins. Oh, if he was able to have a little more acceleration through that hole. Antonio Callaway's dancing in the end zone. Instead, the Dolphins force a punt.
Motor just does a phenomenal job tackling an open field. Most teams would have saw that play and said, oh, crap, and probably panicked, missed a tackle or so, and then it could have been a 1st down pickup with a low-risk, high-reward if we see a block in the back right there. That's a very shady play right there for the Miami Dolphins. Nick Kowalski,
facing the camera, 2 hands to the back, just sit down.
You know, you always wonder what starts that. Is it the guy just kind of, you're blocking him and he's just a little dirty? You don't like how he shoved you off? You go, you know what? I'm hitting this guy in the back the minute he gets by me.
Spin move by Overton, and the Bengals respond to a Thomas Cook touchdown by running one in. The second touchdown of the day for Overton. A little spin cycle, and there was nobody on the backside to stop Overton from picking up 6.
That's the second touchdown on the game for Craig Overton. A phenomenal pickup. Rookie last season, finding his way in the NBL at the halfback position, making his name known.
I was playing unisolated in preseason week 4, and I took a kickback, and as I was running, I was looking at unisolated, and we were in chat, and he was just running around with the guy, like not even going for a tackle. And I asked him, like, what are you doing? He goes, I was just hoping somebody was going to shove me in the back. I was just trying to get a block in the back penalty.
Oh, he was so far out of the play.
Yeah,
he was trying
so
to James Harden it.
Yeah, he was trying to harden the hell out of it. It was funny. Well, how
I've actually
about
done
the
that. I can't
Cincinnati
lie.
Bengals?
I've actually thought of that before while I was in there. I go, man, it'd be nice if I just stopped.
Oh, he tripped over his own guy. Wow, he was gone. The Steelers had a kick return. He tripped over his own blocker.
Yeah, it's good to see the Steelers making some plays here down the field. I mean, not down the field on special teams. They're having an opportunity to make a play to start this game. Got a defensive pass interference, got it into the end zone. It's good to see them putting points on the board. And their special teams and offense, even in the rain on the road, they haven't looked too bad so far.
Right side of your screen, big 3rd and 4. Let's go full screen to that. It looks like the Miami Dolphins looking to pick up a 3rd down, go up 2 scores in this Super Bowl rematch. They're going to spread it out, empty backfield for Marcus Mariota. Dropping back on 3rd and 4, blitz off the edge. It gets to Mariota. Down goes Marcus as Jordan Lewis, the former Michigan Wolverine, gets in the backfield, and Miami's going to be forced to punt the Dallas defense, coming up with a big 3rd down play.
Yeah, they were looking to split those safeties. It didn't really work out on that, just delayed that 3rd route, bending angle route on the right side, didn't get open. And then they had those 2 crossers trying to get across the field, drags, little shallow crosses, and it just didn't happen. And Dallas does a great job coming off the edge there on that cover 2 blitz.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're bringing a man in motion. It looks like it's going to be that little bubble screen to the right side. It is complete, trying to make a man miss. Can't quite do it, but he'll pick up 7. Cook 4 of 8, 56 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. That pick led directly to a Bengals touchdown. Made up for it with a touchdown of his own, though, as a nice throw there to Dante Pettis. We talk about the Curtis Samuel trade as what might be the most lopsided trade here in the NBL, considering what Samuel has turned into in Tennessee. But how about Dante Pettis coming from the San Francisco 49ers and blossoming into a number 1 wide receiver in Dallas?
Yeah, he took over the number 1 role, a team that desperately needed talent on the outside, and they got that with Pettis, and I like what he's brought to the table. Definitely worth a late first round the Cowboys gave up.
As the Pittsburgh Steelers, Thomas Cook completes it over to the left side of the field, finding Washington for the 3rd time. It's a 1st down, and Pittsburgh at the 50-yard line. Listen, it's week 1. Everybody's sort of getting back into the swing of things. Some of these guys haven't touched a controller in a while, but at the end of the day, Pittsburgh's coming out looking like they got a little more fight than they did last year.
Yeah, they absolutely do. A little bit more talent. They had the number 1 overall pick. It paid off on the defensive side of the ball. Haven't seen too much from them yet, but the offense seems to be maturing as well.
Another false start penalty for the Dallas Cowboys. It's 2 on the day, backing up to a 2nd and long. The guy that needs to get going for Pittsburgh, Bomber, that's Marshall Darden, the running back. We saw him on NBL Live a couple times last year. He had some big games. It seems like just Pittsburgh goes away from him for an inexplicable reason.
Yeah, he can get going early, and he has a lot of talent to the outside. As you see, a nice run right there by 39.
There you go.
He can make plays. That's Breda, though, on the run. But Darden was a first-round pick back when they still had Le'Veon Bell. So Breda and Darden, that combination, I like it moving forward. I think it'll do a great job taking some pressure off Cooks, throwing the ball. So Pittsburgh has a lot of options, a plethora of options in the backfield. And then you have Washington and Chris Conley, who they brought over from a great season with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They really love what Matt Breda has brought to Pittsburgh, calling that combo thunder and lightning. Breda with the speed, the lightning. And you got Darden up the middle with the thunder. As a nice throw again by Thomas Cook. 3rd and 12 picked up by the Dallas Cowboys with what is the Z-Star special route. It was an angle route to Zeke Elliott.
You got the angle route with the seam route, and you know one thing, if it's man coverage, who's going to be able to hang on that angle route at the linebacker position against a guy like Zeke Elliott? Pretty much not any tight end, any linebacker in the league, And I think they really bank on that. That is the Z-Star special, and it continues to work even 6 seasons into Madden 19.
Penalty on that play gets it to a 2nd and 9 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a little throw to Callaway in the flat. He'll get up to the 32-yard line. Let's go to the double boxes. Both these teams driving inside the 40-yard line. Dubers really focused on today's game, asking, how do I get Hulu for my Spotify? I was good to know Dubers is in the chat, locked in, as usual. 2nd and inches on the right side of your screen. Hand off to Zeke Elliott, little stretch run. He turns it inside. Did he get enough? Looked like with a second effort, he might have gotten it, and he does indeed. But Zeke Elliott, only 3 carries in the first half, Bomber. He's got -5 yards.
Yeah, Zeke hasn't looked good, surprisingly. That's my fantasy football court halfback, so I'm a little disappointed in that. Hopefully he'll figure it out, but I call him second half Zeke for a reason.
Deep pass for Thomas Cook into tight coverage, and a good defense by the Cincinnati Bengals, making sure that there's no spectacular catch. 4th and 10. They're going to attempt a long field goal. This one from the 38-yard line, a 55-yard attempt, but what would be a big one for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get points out of 2 out of the first 3 drives. It's kick from the right hash mark. Yeah, he just missed it by all of it.
Yeah, just a bad kick there for the Pittsburgh Steelers, just off all the way. I got to come through with those kind of plays or just punt the ball. You're giving up too many yards. They're going to start there. Field position begins on the 45, 5 yards from midfield. I don't like that miss right there from Pittsburgh. You're giving up a little too much.
Big play by the Miami defense, getting to Parker Sheffield. And Sheffield sort of picking up where he left off last season, Bomber. I said going into the playoffs, the reason why I didn't like the Dallas Cowboys team was because I didn't like how Parker Sheffield played. He doesn't look comfortable in the pocket, especially when there's pressure.
No, he doesn't. It just seems like with a line that's kind of just regressing.
Right
he's
side.
got a man wide open.
Diving play, Antonio Callaway says, I got you, Parker. Oh, she's not going to talk crap. When I make this catch, the Dallas Cowboys a point away from tying it up.
Yeah, Antonio Callaway has been another exceptional pickup for the Dallas Cowboys, who's kind of rebuilt this wide receiver core. Dante Pettis, Antonio Callaway, Marquise Lee, even Parker Wright, the rookie they drafted a couple seasons ago. These are big-time players for the Dallas Cowboys, but I'll tell you what, that 92 speed Antonio Callaway, 95 excel, he gets it done for this team, and he finds himself down the field. Once again, another Cleveland Brown kind of sprinkled into the mix here on NBL Live. It seems like we see that happening quite often.
You know what I've heard is Bananas has started calling the Dallas Cowboys Cleveland Campus South because of how many former Cleveland Browns are on that team. The question, though, I have is if somehow the bridesmaid turns into the bride, does Bananas get any credit for that Super Bowl?
Maybe he does. I mean, you're talking David Njoku, Antonio Callaway. Those are big parts, integral parts to this offensive side of the ball that make it go. As you saw right there, Dallas just struggles and struggles. They need a one-on-one play. Can you beat your man one-on-one against the cover one, play action, and he absolutely does for a touchdown. So those are big-time playmakers that they haven't had on this team throughout this entire cycle, so they bring another dynamic.
How about Joe Schobert, another former Cleveland Brown, this one on the Pittsburgh Steelers with the sack on Luke Poe. And if you're a Cincinnati fan, you got to be cringing every time Luke Poe takes a big hit. Last season, he missed some games with injuries, and this season, I don't know if they even have a backup quarterback anymore.
Yeah, we talked about their quarterback situation. According to Gamer Strike? I always get the name messed up. I appreciate him with
it's Game Master Key.
Oh, Game Master Key. I always say Gamer Strike. Yeah, Game Master Key. Appreciate him giving us the rundown.
I assume it's Game Master RKE, but I'm calling him Game Master
Russell
Key.
Greer, Mason Rudolph out. Knee cartilage tear for Rudolph. A broken thumb for Russell Greer. So they just really can't afford any more quarterback injuries. Luke Poe, yeah, you said it. He went down last season. He hasn't been the strongest under center for their team so far, but let's see if he can kind of go through this motions this season and just go through a season just being healthy. I think that'll be a plus for this team moving forward.
No, we cannot call them the Dallas Brown Boys. That's not a nickname you want. As a throw over to left side. Nice touch there from Mariota. 3rd and 3. I think we're actually supposed to call him Game Master Jr. Yeah, it is Game Master Jr. 3rd and 3. Shotgun formation for Luke Poe against this Pittsburgh Steelers team. 5-man rush from the Steelers. Look at the man coverage down the field. Blanketed. A playmaker attempt. Nobody there. Quick throw to the left side. It is complete. And they're going to get an illegal touching, though, on John Ross as he stepped out of bounds and came back in on his own volition. Was the first to touch the ball. So Pittsburgh's defense. How about the secondary of the Steelers standing tall?
Yeah, looking strong. Devontae Hardy, even if he's not making just deflections or big-time plays, he's coming through. Is that a good field goal or no?
It hit the crossbar and popped straight up.
No bueno.
Nope, didn't get over. I think you've got to hit that back stanchion if you're going to get you can't bounce it off the crossbar. Bomber, do you know anything about bouncing field goals off crossbars?
I've never done it. If I did, I probably did it twice in the playoff game, probably in the NFC
hypothetically.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I don't have Prater no more. But I did miss a field goal from 56, so it looks like 94 kick power. Still not enough to get those longer late 50 field goals into the
Did Xavier Woods get in bounds? He did not. Taco Charlton goes down once again. That was a bold throw from Mariota and Motor. Looking to the little fade route on the left side, but the cover two, the safety comes over. Xavier Woods makes a nice play.
Yeah, Xavier Woods has been phenomenal this season. I mean, this cycle, along with Byron Jones, they have just both been suffocating. They play on the same side of the field, and they make plays. They really lock down the side of the field that they're protecting.
7-7 the score. He went for the hurdle. He went for what I call the unisolated hurdle on the defender as timeout called by Miami as they pick up a first down. And, boy, Pittsburgh working their way down the field.
Yeah. Little flood concept kind of on the right side. You get the underneath, the corner, and the post, and he does a great job reading those 3 routes over there, hitting the corner route. I like the squeeze right there. And Pittsburgh's in scoring range now. Now they are officially in scoring range. This won't be as long of a field goal. It'll be just under 50. I like where they're at. Can't take a sack here. 51 seconds left, 2 timeouts.
7-7, Dallas, Miami. Rematch of the Super Bowl tied on the right side of your screen. 14-7, Cincinnati on top here in week 1 of NBL. I'm OSU hanging out with the commissioner Bomber. 1st and 10. Oh, right up the seam. Good read by Cook. Takes a big hit, but he's down to the 10-yard line. How about Thomas Cook with another nice read against this Bengals defense? 1st and 10 on the right side of your screen. Toss play. Naheem Hines. He's got the edge. He's got a block. He's got 6. Into the end zone. Once again, the Miami Dolphins continue to pound the rock and find themselves up by a score here late in the first half.
Naheem Hines can beat you over the middle. He can trap you, zone you, however you want it. And then, he can also take it outside. He's got the speed, the JUIs to take a toss to the end zone, runs it right to the pylon. You got to love the dynamic ability of Naheem Hines. Worth every penny when they brought him over from free agency. I think that AFC East, man, they've brought over some just phenomenal free agents. They've been the free agent destination. Even the Buffalo Bills get in on the action, bringing over Baker Mayfield. So you see just a lot of players just kind of saying, hey, I want to play in the AFC East. Jalen Ramsey, Denzel Ward, Naheem Hines, everybody just kind of just migrating to the AFC East.
Cook dropping back on 2nd and goal. He's got the guy in the flat wide open, but he's going to fumble it. Oh, they're lucky. Okay, hold on. It's picked up by the Bengals. Oh, boy, and it all comes back. It's still the same old Pittsburgh Steelers as they get down to the 10-yard line, and then they take the snap on back-to-back plays, and Thomas Cook just stands there like he's been frozen in time.
Yeah, I would like to run the ball there. I mean, it was an opportunity to cut this to just a 4-point game going into half, and right there now you're going to come away with nothing with 18 seconds left as the Cincinnati Bengals able to get to the quarterback. Watch Gronkowski standing up here on the right side. Also watch Adams on the left side. Devontae one-on-one.
4 wide receivers for Luke Poe as he drops back to pass on 1st and 10. He's going to chuck it up. One-on-one left side. He's got a step and a great defensive play. Wow, it looked like it might be going to the house, but the cornerback on the left side making a big swat, setting up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he gets beat over the top just a little bit and recovers nicely. That was not Devontae Hardy. Hardy, obviously, number 20. That was Artie Burns there on the left side. Gets beat a little bit, but recovers nicely.
Nice throw on the right side of the screen. And Njoku breaks a tackle. He's going to pick up a couple more yards to the 47-yard line. 7-9, 117 and touchdown for Parker Sheffield. The Bengals just going to run it on 2nd down. They're going to go into halftime with a 7-point lead. Story of that game has been the Pittsburgh Steelers looking stronger, but still every time it looks like, all right, here we go. Here comes a big play. They end up pulling out the same old Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, just run the ball in that situation. We talked about Thunder. What is it, Thunder and Lightning? Is that what you're calling over there? We got Darden and who's the other halfback they have?
Matt Breida.
Matt Breida. These are 2 guys that have ability to make big-time plays. Use that. Use them. Maybe even go gun split close, have them both in the backfield. Utilize the running attack a little bit more in that situation. Make sure you come away with 3. A fumble by the sophomore quarterback, Cooks, is not the way to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they're trying to win this game, man, they got to protect the ball a little bit more.
Big shout out to Clay Stevens with the follow here on Twitch. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Broadcast 285 here on the NBL Network. 2nd down and 8 for the Dallas Cowboys. Sheffield in the pocket. Steps up. Sits down. The Miami defense standing tall as Collins gets to the young Parker Sheffield to set up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, pass rush with 4 down. They just do a great job beating their man. They just do a phenomenal job of pass rushing, even without blitzing. They can be in just soft coverage, and they just have pass rushers that have that kind of ability. And right there, the Miami Dolphins are just finding ways to get to Parker Sheffield, and they're doing it in exotic ways. They're sending blitzes. They're not sending blitzes. They're sending corner blitzes, and right there, just drop coverage and just having the will to win right now for the Miami Dolphins defense seems to be all that's needed.
Quick throw to the corner out on Njoku, and how about the hit on the right side? Njoku sits down, the ball pops out, and it's going to be a 4th down for the Dallas Cowboys. This Miami Dolphins defense, Bomber. It's like the opposite of a comedy club. It's no joke.
Yeah, you don't even have to make a play on the ball. You can make a play on the receiver. That's how talented this secondary is. If they're not there for the ball, be ready. They're coming with the boomstick, and you better hold on to the ball right there. David Njoku, ball just pops out. Now Miami stalls out another nice Dallas drive and forces a punt.
Let's go full screen to Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. It's Pittsburgh putting together a little bit of a drive to start the second half. They've got a big 3rd and 7 as Darden with a short catch on the play. Miami and Dallas on the small screen on the left side and keep tabs on that one as DeMarcus Lawrence goes down for the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, did they hire a trainer? What's going on in Dallas?
The injury bug in Dallas. This is a team getting older at this point. They've been relatively healthy on the defensive side of the ball throughout this cycle. Right now, kind of struggling there to keep players on the field. That was almost a pick there on the, what is it, the main screen we're watching right here, the Bengals?
It's on the main screen, and I don't like the read. You should have. That's a play. If you're looking at the out route, you snap the ball. You can tell it's immediately a zone coverage because 2 guys on the left side drop back. The out route's not going to be open at that point.
Yeah, especially against that cover, too, or you got somebody playing some kind of cloud flat on the left side. They just start hanging underneath it or right on the hip. Don't want to make that throw right there. Cooks just gets a little robotic and risk a turnover.
Second down at 10 for Marcus Mariota and the Miami Dolphins. He's going to use his legs once again. He'll take a hit. That's a low hit as it looked like Bradley just sort of dove in front of him. It looks like DeMarcus Lawrence is going to return to the game. They're all bruised and sprained and banged up, but it seems like everybody's okay to play. Except for Van Der Esch.
It's
not
big,
okay.
except for Van Der Esch, but we've seen Taco Charlton go down, and now we see Lawrence. So there's just been a lot of players get down here for the nice pass there for Luke Poe.
Dotty to John Ross, the speedster, down to the 46-yard line. Is any of this game? I know the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing well, but Cincinnati only up 14-7. They just haven't seemed in rhythm. Is there concern in the Queen City?
Oh, I don't know just yet. It is week 1. I wouldn't be too worried right now. Oh, he's got space. Too much juice.
He went for the hit stick and whiffed by about 4 yards, and Motors says, hey, remember when I did this on you in the Super Bowl? I'm going to do it in week 1. Into the end zone for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Taylor right there just using his speed to get over the top of the defense. That fade it can work sometimes. He just kind of leaks to the sideline, then just turns it upfield, and great recognition from Marcus Mariota, looking a lot like who right now? A lot like Allen Rose. I don't like to say it too early, but maybe maybe Rose was a little bit of a product of the system here in Miami.
1st and 10 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Dropping back is Luke Poe, lobbing it up left side. Just a little too much mustard on that one. Bomber, we've talked about it. Right there, that shouldn't have been a touchdown, but Z-Star goes for the hit stick and misses by a long while, and I think Dallas has been hard hitting today. We've talked about it. Once you hit one hit stick clean, it's like a drug. You gotta get a little more of that hit stick, and it can get you into trouble.
Yeah, it's really the switch stick at this point. They just switch on and go immediately to the hit stick with no hesitation. You saw Motor do it earlier on that corner route. He timed it perfectly, gets the hit, ball gets knocked out on Njoku on a 3rd down. They're forced to punt. Now the Cowboys say, hey, I'm going to get my switch stick on. Ball's in the air. He switches, goes for the hit stick. He whiffs, and he tiptoes the sideline, and Taylor gets into the end zone.
Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on NBL Live. Broadcast 285 here on the NBL Network. We got a great set of games here on the Super Show. We got more coming up this week. Blitz right up the middle. Down goes Poe as the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's Joe Schobert with his 2nd sack of the day. We got a commercial to play. We'll play that after the game, though, because I got to get it loaded up. But we got another NBL Live coming up on Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Ball's out for the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, Dallas looking completely outclassed here in week 1.
Once again, another 4-man rush getting there quickly because the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys, older, 32 years old. You got 3 guys there. I understand they got the superstar depth. They're still balling, rocking, and rolling. But, hey, against a very tough Miami Dolphins front line, they're struggling. We're talking Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin.
Quick pass to Zeke Elliott in the flat on 2nd and 25. I love the call from the Dallas Cowboys. A quick throw to Zeke in the flat. It gets it back to a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you want to talk about upcoming games that are going to be big for the Cincinnati Bengals and Luke Poe. It's not going to be this game. It's going to be the big games against the Cleveland Browns. That's what's going to decide this division. But what are your thoughts on Luke Poe so far? We've seen him now, 3 seasons into the NBL. He just seems like a second-tier kind of quarterback. Hasn't really busted through. Not even as good as the quarterback it seemed like Eric G had. That was almost deflected and picked and caught again. Those are the dangerous ones. I once had Draco deflect. He caught, his receiver caught it to the house. you can get unlucky in those situations. It kind of works out for really both teams on that throw. But Luke Poe just seemed kind of like a second-tier quarterback, not even as good as the quarterback he had when he was with the New Orleans Saints. Just doesn't seem like he's on that level just yet.
Yeah, I think Poe has shown signs that he could be a top-tier quarterback. I think just the problem is Cincinnati doesn't have the talent around him. First season, he had John Ross and A.J. Green still playing incredibly well. I think now they don't really have a great running game. They've got John Ross, but not a whole lot behind John Ross. The defense not making as many plays. I mean, again, you can call him a second-tier quarterback all you want. He's a two-time AFC North champion, which is pretty good. But I would put him in the NBL. I think Luke Poe is, if you could probably sell me at bottom half of the top 10, in that 9-10 range. But he's a top half of the league quarterback for sure.
Yeah, I think top half. I have him probably between 10 to 15 right now. Who was the quarterback that Eric G had for the New Orleans Saints last season? Do you remember the name? You're always good with these kind of names. I tend to forget them after a while. Eric G would remember it instantly. I figure since you're on the fan club, and now I've stalled just a little bit for you, has it come to mind yet? Or
I was watching the game. What are we talking about?
The quarterback.
Ball's out in Pittsburgh. It's
Got it
recovered
back.
by the Steelers. I feel like Cinderella. Hey Z.
Whoa.
Hey Z.
Flip it.
Hey Z
Hey,
Star.
clip that.
Hey Z Star. What are you doing there, buddy? Hey buddy. What are you doing there, Z? What's going on?
D-Star switched on. I think he thought he was close to the quarterback, but the quarterback had already been releasing the ball, so he switched on to the safety, and then he just took him away from the ball and then spun out of his shoes. We'll talk about the great game Taylor's having here on NBL Live Broadcast 285, really showing out here in Week 1. Nobody's got him on their fantasy team. I can guarantee that.
What was the question you were asking me while I was
The
watching?
quarterback for the New Orleans Saints.
Ross Bonham.
Ross Bonham, that's it.
And Porter.
Who I think he
Ross
was
Bonham.
probably a top 7. I'd say 7.
Yeah, Bonham
Probably
was
about
great.
7.
Bonham was phenomenal. Blitz brought by the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, what a catch! Falling backwards in the air with the opposite hand. He makes the catch at the 1-yard line. Mike Gesicki with an absolutely Gesick catch there at the 1.
And I thought this was a must-win for the Dallas Cowboys tonight. I didn't think they could really suffer a loss. It is ring ceremony for the Dolphins, so they got that extra ammunition to make sure they come away with a dub for their fans here in Miami. But, man, I'll tell you what. If I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan right now, I'm feeling really defeated. We made it to the playoffs. We made it to the Super Bowl, 3 times. We played against the Browns, and we were dismantled 2 times in a row. Then we played the Miami Dolphins, and it was close, but then at the end, it kind of got away from us. And then today, it just seems like just dominating fashion. Maybe it's just not meant to be for this team to win a Super Bowl this cycle.
Handoff to Hines goes nowhere, trying to punch it in to get it to a 3-score game. If they score here, Bomber, even with a field goal, I feel like this game's already over.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you're gonna extend it to 3 scores against a defense that allows 10 points per game. You've got 7. You're right on par to get 10 points per game against this Miami Dolphins defense. You got to score the ball against Miami, or your defense has to kind of shut them down. We saw Marcus Mariota use his legs today. Nyheim Hines get outside, underneath, Taylor over the top. They're just so dynamic, and they can beat you in so many different ways. This is just a very tough team.
Ooh, high pass.
That's a good throw.
Nowhere.
That is a good throw. I like the throw. I thought it was open. I thought he had space there. Obviously, he got a little too much air underneath it, but I'm okay with it, OSU. For a 3rd and goal, where did he put the ball to where his receiver could make a play or nobody makes a play? Right there, you get the 3.
Because the worst thing you can do there is turn the ball over.
Exactly. 100%. And that's a quick read, a quick throw. It's probably just a 1 read. I'm going to give it a high pass and see if I can get it there. If that's not there, he probably would have rolled out and just tried to get there with his legs.
Hey, while we got a moment here, Bomber, let us know what's coming up Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern time over on YouTube.
7:30 Eastern time on YouTube.com.
It's building the franchise. It's your own damn
Madden
show.
Bomber League. It's building the franchise. Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Redskins. I believe it's going to be Week 4 action Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Find us on @Bomber League @NBL Network. We'll have all the information on both of those Twitter accounts about some upcoming stuff that's going to be on that show. And I'm ready to get it rocking and rolling and see, kind of how the Dallas Cowboys can do on their second go-round here on building the franchise in Madden 19.
Sorry, I'm trying to set up this commercial. It's just not working for me. Don't forget, we got our Virginia Beach collection up on CFN Clothing. NBL's taking over Virginia Beach in July. Don't miss out. As we've got tank tops, we got t-shirts, we got board shorts, we got a little bit of everything. You don't want to miss out on that one. 365.maddenbomberly.com/merchandise bomber. I am so excited to get myself some of this NBL merch.
And Pricey in the chat, shout out to him. I said, how's it look, man? How's it sound and how's the stream going? Pricey goes, pretty good, but besides when you're talking, Bomber. Shout out to my man Pricey, man. Put a lot of points on the board this week, so if you had him on the over, man, you guys probably cashed out this weekend. Bill scored 0.
Brutal. Back to the games, 3rd down and 8 is picked up. Put your forwards in the chat. We're heading to the 4th quarter. As it is a, well, it's not looking like the Super Bowl rematch I think people had hoped for, because Dallas has come out completely flat. It's been dominated by the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins have looked good, and this is their ring ceremony. This is what you want to see. You come to this game, you expect to see a win. I've noticed Madden has done this a couple times, though. When I won the Super Bowl, I immediately played, because we were matched up in that division, they put me right against the Browns in the first 4 weeks, so they do a really good job of matching up a big-time playoff rivalry. I'll play the Cowboys in Week 1 often. They just do a great job of setting up those Week 1 games. Has anybody else noticed that, or is that just have I just been the only one that kind of like feels
I was
that
thinking
way?
about that earlier.
It seems like they do that intentionally. There's always that Week 1 game where you're like, oh, wow, they're playing them Week 1.
Yeah, they do a nice job with that one. Let's see if this works now. Hold on. It does work. Don't forget, we got coming up Thursday night, Week 2 action. Detroit Lions, New York Giants. A matchup we've seen so much. 2 powers in the NFC. It's broadcast 286, Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern time, right here. Twitch.tv/MBL Network. Bomber, you're going to be on that one. Excited to get your MBL live on Thursday night.
Yeah, broadcast 286. That's one of my lucky 3-digit numbers. So I hopefully we can come away with a dub, or at least put on a good performance for the fans here watching NBL live. It's going to be a tough game. Cringe is a very tough opponent. Obviously a Super Bowl champion this cycle. Going to be a tough time trying to stop Saquon Barkley and the franchise tagged Odell Beckham. He's playing for a contract, so you got to think he's going to come out trying to put points on the board.
It's going to be Thursday. It's going to be a super show. We're going to have a second game there, but the headliner, Lions and Giants, Week 2 action here on NBL Live. 3rd and 12 up, picked off. You could see, listen, I know you can't technically see the eyes of the quarterback, but as a big shout out to the franchise, 23-14 with the foul, I almost felt like right there, I could see Z-Star staring at that corner route coming over the middle.
I mean, you're just making, we're all making kind of the same kind of reads, especially when you're watching it and not playing it. It's a lot easier to see where you should be looking, and his eyes were exactly where they needed to be. They just kind of hung there too long, and I thought, oh, he's going to get in trouble here, as I see where he's looking to go.
Shout out to Cougs with the 13 months of subscribing, the Tier 2 sub. If you're a Tier 2 sub, put your SERP emotes in the chat. Let them know that these games are cooking. We're cooking on NBL Live, broadcast 285. Working towards 300. Seems like, Bomber, it seems like just yesterday we were talking about broadcast 200. Now we're working towards 300.
Yeah, we're close to 300. I mean, that is just a 300 broadcasts on the NBL network, and they've all gotten better. I mean, you take our first 25, the next 25. I mean, you'll see incremental improvement every time you go up about 25 broadcasts. And hey, you look at both of these games right now. They're not the greatest games. Pittsburgh closer than the Bengals. I would have never guessed that. But man, it's been a fun ride here on 285.
Toss play on 2nd and 1. Big hole left side. Juke move once again. And listen, I know some people haven't touched the sticks in a while, but Z-Star is one of the guys who's actually played recently.
Who has?
Does he know that you have to like make contact with the defender to make a tackle? We've seen a lot of missed tackles by the user.
Very aggressive defensive usering for the Dallas Cowboys tonight. Definitely struggling on a lot of facets of the ball, on probably both sides of the ball. The defense and offensive side has not looked sharp for the Dallas Cowboys. And Zeke Elliott couldn't get it rocking and rolling. The line doesn't look as good as it once was. And the Miami Dolphins they're primed and ready to go back-to-back. They're looking to repeat like the Cleveland Browns did in season 33 and 34.
1st and 10 for the Miami Dolphins. How about a handoff? Bounces it left side, picking up another 9 yards. Nyheim Hines, 12 carries, 52 yards, and 2 scores. Left side of your screen, Cincinnati is clamped down. It hasn't been pretty here in the rain in Cincinnati, but Cincinnati's been the better team as they've been able to force a couple key turnovers in the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Just imagine the Steelers inside the red zone if they came away with 3. It'd be a one-score game right now. I mean, one big turnover, you could get right back into it. That's why it's so important not to turn the ball over in the red zone. You take that turnover away and give them just give them a field goal. We're talking 17-10 right now.
Both these games, week 1 action is Overton. Wow, how impressive he's been
God.
for the Cincinnati Bengals. 8 for 84 and 2 scores. And Cincinnati, a lot of people talking about these Cleveland Browns taking back their crown, and Eric G and the Bengals going, hey, not so fast, my friend.
Yeah, if you can get Overton into the game and get him just finding a way on the offensive side of the ball, and they establish that running game, they also have Rashad Penny at the number 2 halfback. You got an opportunity to really just kind of change up what you've been doing, and it might add another dynamic and wrinkle to this offense. Then maybe I might be swaying a little bit towards, man, this could be a toss-up between the Browns and the Bengals. I'm still leaning Cleveland, though.
I'm going to come down to those 2 matchups between Cleveland and Cincinnati. If Cincinnati can continue their winning ways against the Cleveland Browns, they're going to be okay. Lord, the usering is bad. It's bad in Dallas, Bomber. It's real bad. There's no reason that should have been a touchdown, and they still found a way to get in the end zone. The route is on as Miami is cooking. Put your SERP emotes in the chat.
And the Miami Dolphins, just too much speed outside. You see him take a plunge. Dallas does a great job collapsing on it, and it just forces the halfback Nyheim Hines outside. Well, this was a couple plays ago, and at that point I realized, why are you forcing him outside? You really can't contain this guy when he bounces outside. He bounces outside, and you see Jalen Smith looking just, I mean, he's a fast linebacker, but he does not compare to Nyheim Hines. They might get a safety here.
Oh, no. Oh, Lord. Oh, no.
And he tries to strip him, anyways. He wanted the 6 points. Wow. This is just, that's just unfortunate at this point.
Breaking news here on NBL Live. Z-Star no longer bridesmaid. He's been downgraded to the valet outside. He's not even in the wedding anymore as the Miami Dolphins putting the hurting on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's just very disappointing there. A little insult to injury, but hey, this is a phenomenal ring ceremony.
Oh, speaking of rings, they're running rings around these Dallas Cowboys. Rematch of the season 37 Super Bowl in that game. You find it over on YouTube, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. It was much better than this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. It seemed like the Miami Dolphins just really outmatched the Dallas Cowboys on every facet of the game. And the only touchdown the Cowboys have was just a one-on-one go route. Antonio Callaway, that honestly, if you want to be really critical about Parker Sheffield's play tonight, it was an overthrown ball that Antonio Callaway had to lay out for, and he held onto the ball to make the catch. That's their only touchdown. That's their only points on the board.
Yeah, first and goal for the Cincinnati Bengals. They've hit the 2-minute warning, 17-7 the score. It looks like they're going to walk away with a victory. But here's what I will say. It hasn't been pretty at times for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but week 1, no need to overreact of one game, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, they certainly, I don't see this team going 0-16 this year.
No, I don't at all. I thought they played very strong. They've had opportunities this game. They have to clean it up inside the red zone. But I'm really much more impressed with them than I thought I would be.
Overton trying to get his 3rd touchdown today. He just runs it right up the middle. They're going to work this clock as it looks like both these games, they're going to end almost simultaneously, it looks like, as a 3rd and 8 now for the Miami Dolphins off the safety to put them up 33-7. Any
Marcus
reason to panic in Dallas?
Let's give a Marcus Mariota grade. Where do you guys got him going? We'll say you want to do letter grades with the plus minus, or you want to do a 1 to 10? I mean, or Meltzer 1 to 5?
No, we're not doing. We don't. We'll do the opposite.
Doing WWE.
No, I think Meltzer's now 1 to 6. I think there are 6 stars now. No, we'll do it. Just do it as Overton finds the end zone for the 3rd time.
Meltzer legitimately doesn't even go like. Sometimes he goes negative, and then sometimes he'll go like a 6.
Yeah.
If it goes to like 2 out of 3 falls, or they continue the match, he'll like add an extra 2 stars onto it. So whatever we want to do.
Scale of 1 to 10 in the chat. Let us know, 10 being the best, what you think of Marcus Mariota's performance today for the Miami Dolphins. And Cincinnati goes up 24-7. Both these games in the waning moments. Looks like the Dolphins and the Bengals are going to start out 1-0 on this campaign. Any panic in Dallas, considering how this first game went?
Absolutely not. Parker Sheffield, obviously a sophomore. You got to keep his spirits up here. He's the one that you have to look at to say that might get just a little overly emotional about this bad start. You're playing the best team in the NBL week 1.
A lot of 9s in the chat.
Yeah, I thought Marcus Mariota in his debut for the Miami Dolphins, I gave him a 9.5. I don't give rookie scores because I've been watching a lot of that pizza barstool stuff. So we give decimal points over here. But yeah, a lot of 9s in the chat, even a 10 from I don't want to say Gamer Strike. What is it? Gamer Key? What is it?
No, what we're calling him is Game
I'm going
Master
to have this
Jr.
wrong. Game Master Jr.?
Yeah, he's Game Master Jr.
All right, so Game Master Jr. is gave it a 10. Marcus Mariota debut with the Miami Dolphins.
Kuz gave an 8.69. Shout out to Sclam. Darce Knight saying almost half of his yards came from big plays. The Dallas Swift on, but only 1 interception, no fumbles. 8.1. Darce Knight, the sour Sally in the chat.
Dude, he is. Darce, I love you, man, but you are you are something, man.
Why did Cincinnati take a timeout? Anyone?
Hello.
Not know. Maybe they had
Anyway,
a tired.
both these games.
Maybe they had
are
a
over.
tired guy on the field and they decided they didn't want to get him hurt. You know, I started looking at that more. So Gerard Davis has had a lot of injuries with me for the Detroit Lions, right? And I look at gonna get a pick right there.
Yeah,
I look.
We're not. I pulled it to the game screen, the splash screen, anyways. But yeah, Thomas Cook just threw another interception. That game is now actually over.
You look at these teams that play today. You didn't expect the Steelers to hang with the Bengals as close as they did. So there's some hope there. Dallas obviously came out flat. Dolphins had a phenomenal ring ceremony. And the Cincinnati Bengals got to walk away feeling good as well, even though this was an expected win for this team. They feel pretty confident was what we got from our rundown sheet this week one. Obviously, with the addition of Austin Seferian-Jenkins to see him go down. I don't know if it's a multiple game injury. What was his? Was his shoulder tear or no?
I didn't see what Seferian-Jenkins was.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one either, and that
Eric
might
just
be
said he
multiple
called
weeks.
the timeout for personnel issues. He's just pulling guys off the field. Doesn't want anyone to get hurt.
I understand, man. I had Gerard Davis go down at the end of the game. I really pay attention to that stamina bar, man. Sometimes in the first half, I just call him like, oh, well, he's at the red and he gets hurt a lot. Hey, let me go ahead as Dallas has one new injury there. You see on that screen.
I give a big shout out before we get out of here to the EA Madden NFL Twitter. Give us another retweet tonight. I appreciate it. We're gonna raid somebody because we like to do that at the end of broadcast. But let's sum up week one. 2 relatively dominant performances. The Bengals a little less so, but they come away with a big win. But how about the Miami Dolphins? They've got to be the favorite to win another Super Bowl going into season 38.
Shout out to Jamie in the chat. I'm pretty sure he just put pi as his number. Pretty
He
sure.
did. Yes, that is
3.14159. I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah.
Seferian-Jenkins came back in the game. But how about, I mean, is there anybody, there's no reason not to think these Dolphins are the favorites to win the Super Bowl again.
No,
Because of how good they play.
absolutely. You got to respect who won it last year, and then they come out week one and they look like they do tonight. Even if it would have been reversed, I still would have had the Dolphins. I think they would figure it out. But this was a very convincing win. So if you're a Dolphins fan and you're thinking the Miami Dolphins in the NBL got a chance to go back-to-back, I'm right there with you. This is a team that just looks tough, and primarily because of their defense and their running attack, they can control the time of possession. And then you add in Marcus Mariota's legs now. This is a very dynamic team.
All right, Bomber, you look for somebody for us to raid
All right.
while he looks for that one. Reminder. We got another NBL Live coming up Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Twitch.tv/NBL Network. It's going to be a super show, but the feature game, the Detroit Lions taking on the New York Giants. 2 NFC powers face off in week 2. Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. NBL Live Super Show, episode number 286.
All right, let's go ahead and raid DK Nice. He's at 42. Maybe we'll get him close to 100.
Cool. We're going to raid DK Nice. Stick around with us, guys. Let him know NBL is raiding. Let him know NBL is supporting other guys in the community. I'm going to set that bad boy up, but we move on to week 2. No Bomber for our next broadcast. He's going to be playing on NBL Live Thursday night. But Bomber, great way to kick off season 38.
Absolutely. Broadcast number 285, an absolute success. Congratulations to the Miami Dolphins. Ring ceremony, NBL season 37, Super Bowl champions, and now NBL season 38 favorites to go back-to-back. The AFC, they know how to do those back-to-back, so I'm really excited to see how this season is going to play out.
All right, we're about ready to raid. Make sure you let DK Nice know NBL is ready, and we appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I'm OSU. I was hanging out with Bomber. Don't forget, Thursday night, we got NBL Live broadcast 286, 9 o'clock Eastern Time right here. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us for this week 1 action. We'll see you next time right here on NBL Live.